importance. In reference to that satellite man trying to play kick plate terrorism. See, a long time ago, there was a girl that was at my apartment, and there was like a little apartment party. It was, it was just a gathering, really, because we'd been out to some clubs or something. Some girl tripped over the fucking door step thing. It's like a kick plate. That's what they call them. Kick plates at doors. It's like around the frame of the door, comes down, and down at the bottom is like the silver thing. It's like people either scrape. It's got like the little ridges on it, like somebody scrapes their foot on it or whatever. It's not like a doormat or anything. But some girl tripped over one of those at one of my apartments in California. And this government man has tried to murder me like it was a setup. And I guess she pulled some type of stunt, because I was telling everybody to leave the party because it's a small apartment, and plus somebody was saying something about loud music or something. So I was like, okay, well, you turn it down or whatever. But I was telling everybody to leave. And this girl put on this stunt where she tripped. She pretended like she tripped or something. And these dirty cops in government, I guess she was working for Frank Sinatra, Bill Clinton, I don't know which other governor or mayor. But first and foremost, I was born with royal diplomatic immunity. If somebody falls down at a party, that's not my goddamn fault. You know that? But another thing, that satellite man's been burning my upper lip. Or, somebody was trying to say something, I don't know, it was really loud. It wasn't really loud music. I didn't turn the music up, somebody else did. But anyways, somebody said something about, then the cops showed up outside and the girl tripped, or she tripped, and then the cops showed up outside. That sounds like satellite shit. You know that, right? But anyways, the point of information in reference to the government. My mother got murdered in Beverly Hills. When I went out to California, they were blocking me from my mother and father's mansions. They were trying to play this social experiment, which I never entered into at any time ever. And they were trying to think of ways of trying to frame me. And then celebrity females that knew me from Hollywood. This was after I got kidnapped and held hostage in Indianapolis before. Because I was at my mother and father's mansions in Beverly Hills, and the gun assailant had snuck into the house. He shot my mother, he shot me, and he shot this another Jewish guy that was there at the house. And then the other people showed up, and they moved me out of the house. I guess went to Cedars-Sinai in reference to injuries that I had. And that's the day my mother got murdered. Yeah, I almost died. The Jewish guy almost died, but the gun assailant had entered. Had entered the house. Satellite man's doing that. The gun assailant had entered the house and shot my mother. My mother had restraining orders against this person. This man had tried to rape my mother before. This man tried to bite my mother's face when he was trying to rape her. My mother had court cases against that man in Indianapolis, Indiana. My mother had court cases against that man in California and in other cities, and in New York, and in North Carolina. This man was trying to kidnap me from my mother and father's mansion. He was trying to kidnap me, and there was even phone calls of him trying to extort ransom money from my mother. And during the time, and I'm still being held hostage in Indianapolis. And look, they caused the tooth damage. These government people. They were trying to intercept videos of my mother. My mother made videos during the time that I was held hostage, and she had sent some of them to me, and I guess one of their government impersonators in Indianapolis was trying to steal my mother's identity. It's one of their government agents, I don't know. And my mother was like 7 feet tall. Most people know that, right? And my mother had been in court in Indianapolis. I had been in the court before with my mother, and when my mother beat these people in court, I beat them in court too, because it was a case about them holding me hostage and them depriving me of my money. This was back in the 80s and 90s. Like, I'd been kidnapped several times and ended up back in Indianapolis. I'm not even from Indianapolis. They've been using that Greenfield document to steal my monies, to hold me hostage, to block me from my mother and father's estates. And in the Royal Protocol in the media, it tells you, do not deny my existence. Do not deny my identity. These government people tried to do that. It's on TV 24 hours a day. Politicians are not allowed to deny my identity either. The role protocol is there. They don't have a right strip searching me to see if I'm who I am. They know who I am. If they say they don't, if they ever put their hands on me, or they ever tried to hire anybody to put their hands on me, those politicians get prosecuted for sexual assault, sexual abuse, blood theft, sperm theft, their sexual fetishes, abuses, and things like that. It's attempted murder. But anyways, when my mother got shot in Beverly Hills and I got shot, these politicians or these government people was working with this guy in government. His name was Frank. Some people know who he is. The Italians know who he is. The Jews and Europeans know who he is. But anyways, there was a particular point of information about these people trying to frame me. They blocked me from my mother and father's mansions when I went out to California. I was going to UCLA at the time. And I was waiting for my mother because she was supposed to show up, from the whole incident. But, I wasn't sure if my mother got murdered at that time or if she died or what. But my mother got shot like 10 times by this government man. And the government didn't have a right trespassing on the property. This man was trying to extort monies from my mother because she would not give him money because I had been rescued and I was over there with my mother. But there was a few times, I guess, when I was at home with my mother's mansion and my father's mansion, that this man kept calling, and I was sitting right there, and he was trying to ask for ransom money. And he even said to my mother that she would never see me alive again. And they even have that recorded on Beverly Hills recordings, because the whole city of Beverly Hills is like wired, everything. If a bird makes a sound in a tree, they can hear it. You know that, right? But anyways, back to the point. These people tried to pull this stunt, trying to see if they could make me look like a bum. I don't get involved in their activities of social games. I'm not involved in their games at all. I don't believe in playing games like that. I don't like bullshit surprises either. In reference to the information, these people tried to play this stunt. They tried to play tricks like people falling down. Well, that's not my goddamn fault. But then the satellite man's tried to knock me down all these years. It's attempted murder. Government people have shot at me before. Government people have tried to steal my identity. I'm not in the wrong in any goddamn fucking way. Not never. I'm the rightful owner of my mother and father's estates. I'm the rightful owner of the property keys. The property keys are in somebody else's possessions, and it's not supposed to be in their possession. It's supposed to be in my possession. I'm the owner. Plus, in reference to company accounts and businesses, I'm the owner of the companies and businesses of my mother and father's estates. These government people most of them are either Christian or German mixes. My mother and father wasn't Christian German. This is not a Christian German country. So in reference to, there are Christians and Germans in America, but they're not the majority of the people, and they don't own anything that I'm the owner of. This has been a hostage situation for over 30 fucking years. Off and on. And these people have tried to hold me hostage, trying to steal my identity, trying to steal my property. And then people tried to pull stunts claiming, oh, they got injured, or they fell down, or they had this, or they didn't like me. They didn't like me or something. Or they don't like you, or they don't, yeah. They try to get involved in my life to stir up problems. I don't hang out with certain people. That's why my mother and father had it on lists that, in reference to certain types of friends, if they have political connections with certain types of politicians, they can't be my friend. And they can't be a girlfriend of mine. I can't date government agents. I can't date political people's daughters. They'll try to get into my family wealth. They'll try to get into my family property. They'll try to steal my identity. They'd spy on me all the time, trying to make up excuses. And another thing, in reference to celebrity females, I don't date celebrity females that try to control my life. I like girlfriends and hanging out with girlfriends and, social friendliness, like regular girlfriend-boyfriend kind of thing, or whichever kind of relationship. But in reference to people blocking me from my money, people trying to enslave me, people trying to domesticate me, or trying to damage my looks, or my teeth, or my anatomy, or people trying to downsize on my royal penis, no. People trying to downsize on my Wealth? No, that's illegal. And people false advertising their status, trying to make themselves look like they were above me. That's why the Royal Protocol's on TV 24 hours a day. Anybody claiming that they thought they outranked me or my property or land or ownership, those people have to go to court. The deeds department's just ready to go to court, is what somebody just said. Somebody might just say, as they communicated. I haven't received any of the monies from the deeds departments either. They were supposed to send me money too. And how's the government blocking that? They don't have a legal right blocking that. They don't have a legal right blocking me from my money. I'm the owner. They tried to make up health problems. They tried to make up psychological problems. No. When they're trying to play MK Ultra terrorism with the satellite, or people trying to steal my blood, trying to change their identity, trying to change their names into my name. These people tried to play kill switch games. They tried to murder me, and then their impersonator tried to steal my identity, and then they tried to play like they were trying to put me in the grave. No. That's a violation of ethnicity and Treasury laws and all kinds of other laws. And human rights laws too, and lifespan laws, and wealth laws. So in reference to the government, man, trying to fake their Christian health disorders, or trying to make up health injuries on people's lives, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a German. I'm Catholic and Jewish. So the Christian Germans don't have a right putting their psychological opinion on other races and religions. You guys know that, right? They don't have a right doing that. And then a politician would say, oh, they thought they'd have a right trying to judge me. Oh, that's what they were trying to do to my parents when they murdered my parents? Wealth protection laws. My parents were the two richest people in the world. Some poor-ass politician wanted to criticize my parents. My parents didn't pay the government wages. You needed to talk to the Treasury. Whichever branch of government pays your political wages. My parents didn't pay the political wages of politicians. They weren't responsible for that. And this is another thing in reference to population of people. You know, my companies are good companies. They're great companies. But I don't control the population of what people have babies and which ones don't. In reference to them having sex with somebody and them having an offspring, that's not my area. That's not my area of telling people, you know, I mean, of course, people have to think about their finances and stuff like that, but, you know, that's not my, you know, people don't have a right stealing my sperm and making mass numbers of babies or trying to mix my sperm with Christian Germans. They're not allowed to do that. There's laws that specifically say that. And in the Royal Protocol, it tells you that I'm not allowed to date politicians' daughters or government people's daughters. No. Not allowed to date law enforcement people's daughters, because, you know, all these men, all these people will try to play their manipulations. And I'm not allowed to date people in the medical industry either, because they would try to make up diseases to try to murder me. And in reference to the banking industry, my mother deposited $1 billion in a bank in Indianapolis before, and it got stolen, or they're blocking me from it. Hadn't received it. Hadn't received even a bank statement about it. And I've been to the bank a few times. And since I've been going to the bank and that satellite man was burning my upper lip, that's financial mutilation violations against government. And in reference to the girl that fell down at the apartment when I was telling everybody to leave, hey, that's not my fault. She fell down. That's her own fucking fault. And but she was working with Bill Clinton, I guess. You have to look it up. I don't know. Or she was working for some dirty cops. Dirty cops that knew who I am, and they knew I'd been shot in Beverly Hills at my mother and father's mansion, and they knew my mother had gotten shot. And they knew that the Jewish guy had gotten shot. They got the smoking gun right there in Beverly Hills Police Department, don't they? Reference to the gun the man used when he shot me and my mother. He had an accomplice, too. He had a couple of accomplices or something. Haven't received any monies from the Beverly Hills Police Department. I don't even carry a weapon. You guys understand that, right? But there's supposed to be somebody around, such as bodyguards, that are watching to make sure nobody tries to jump me, or nobody tries to hurt me, or tries to steal my identity, or tries to murder me. And bodyguards are supposed to be carrying money that they're supposed to hand to me. Where is it? This is a human rights violation of government so many times. I've been injured so many times growing up. And you know what? People tried to claim that they thought my parents was the bad people. No, that ain't legal for anybody to ever say. My parents did not get into people's private affairs. My parents did not get into people's domestic problems and basic information. You know, they just like, you know, maybe you should break up, maybe you should get married, maybe you should find somebody else, or whatever, you know. Whatever somebody would say. See, I can't ever get fully married, completely married, because of my mother and father's estates and my trust funds. But I can date girls for a long period of time, and there is no common law marriage in reference to me or my mother and father's estates, or property, or land, or companies, or patents, or inventions, or revenues, or anything like that. But in reference to me dating a girl, I could date a girl if it was the girls, or if the relationship's good, I could date a girl for 20, 30 years, just depends. Or even longer, I don't know. Just depends on the girl. But most people knew who this girl was, and they knew that she might have been involved in drugs, or she was working for drug enforcement agents, or she was doing something, but she had like these secret meetings with these other people in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And her father worked at some pharmaceutical company in Canada. Or they were supposedly from Canada, but then somebody's tried to say they thought they were from Texas or something. I don't know where they're from. But anyways, the point of information in reference to that girl, she hopped up, she walked off after that, no big deal. As far as I know, people fall down all the fucking time. In some places. Satellite Man's tried to knock me down hundreds of times. But that girl tripped over like the kick plate or something. When she was leaving, I heard like a ting sound, and that was it. And I closed the door and told everybody else to leave too. Yeah, it's kind of like I closed the door, turned, or she went out the door, and I turned and said, "Hey, everybody's got to leave," you know. And the door closed. You know, that's what it is. And that's pretty much that. But then these people tried to murder me. See, the government tries to use anything and everything that anybody says to slander my character because they're trying to steal trillions of dollars. They're trying to steal media companies and news networks that I'm the owner of. That's what their people are trying to do. Their people have been trying to do that a long time. And it's illegal. But in reference to people, you know, people they act like they were trying to give me the third degree because this girl tripped over her own fucking feet. And then after that, there was a story in the media about Jack, or somebody had like a party in Hollywood, and some girl fell down. I don't know who it was. And then this girl fell down, or what? Like it was an insurance scam that these people was trying to run. I don't know. But in reference to the information, I'm still waiting for my mother and father's mansion keys. And any accusations, I always countersue. Somebody say, "Oh, well, they don't like you. They think you might be a bad person." I've never been a bad person. You're trying to judge my race and religion? Then you people held me hostage and tried to call me your own race and religion to try to murder me off? Like you thought you were the Catholic, or not Catholic, you thought you were the people claiming you were above Catholics or Jews and violating separatism of religions? Or separatism, you know what I mean? They're messing with my mouth when I'm trying to talk. Are they violating segregations of religions and race? It's not really reference to race. I like friendly people, but segregating from bad people that would try to hurt me, people that would try to steal from me, people that would hold me hostage, people that would cock block me, people that would block me from my wealth and my properties. or my luxurious lifestyle. Oh, and hello, alux.com. How you guys doing? Yeah, in reference to the haters, that's a pretty good video. That's a pretty good video in reference to that. In reference to the types of haters that there are out there in the world. But in reference to people trying to play tricks, people trying to steal my identity. You know, people trying to block me from my studios, blocking me from my monies and revenues. Blocking me from my offices, trying to doubt my identity. California's had DNA of information about my identity since I was a baby. Since I was born, basically. This video is getting kind of long and it takes a long time to upload, it seems. But anyways, in reference to the point of information, in reference to executives trying to play tricks, or government people trying to bully me, or that goddamn government satellite man that keeps trying to communicate shit like, oh, he's gonna bring the fight to your doorstep. No, you're trespassing. Trying to bring a fight to somebody's doorstep. You're trying to call me the bad guy. Just because somebody's rich or has a family history of wealth doesn't give you a right of calling them the bad guy. People get into business to make money. And when people sit there and say, oh, well, they want some of this, they want some of your money, they want some of your company. No. People need to invest their monies on Wall Street when there's available shares. People need to make investments in other things. You don't have a right stealing my fucking money, or my property, or wealth, or freedom. You don't have a right trying to murder off people to steal their land or property or wealth because you couldn't afford or you couldn't buy their property because it wasn't for sale and they weren't wanting to sell anything. I can't ever sell. I'm the owner of everything of my mother and father's estates and grandparents' estates. Forever. My real grandparents. And my real mother and father. So in reference to government trying to play tricks, or whichever people are trying to play tricks, it's a violation of positions of government. Government trying to murder me, trying to play MK Ultra terrorism, trying to slander my character. They think they're fucking funny. It's not funny. It's a violation of law. I'm the rightful owner. Anybody making up hearsay saying, oh, they thought this guy was the owner. They said your mother's last words. No, they're all protocols, the bloodline document. No matter what my mother's last words were, I'm the owner of everything. And there's always people that try to make up that shit. They try to hold me hostage, and they try to impersonate my mother. They tried to impersonate my father. These people tried to murder me, trying to steal my identity, blocking me from my revenues, blocking me from my privileged documents, blocking me from my mansions. There's all kinds of celebrities and entertainers. Nobody's ever blocked them from their money. And I own the companies that I own. I own them forever. It even tells you if anybody's going to be around me, if anybody's going to be near me or something, if they fall down or something happens, they can't blame me. That's what it says. No matter what, whether it's a girlfriend or a guy friend or just a stranger walking down the fucking street, you fall down, it's not my goddamn fault. Or if somebody tries to play tricks of some kind, it's not my fault. You don't have no right blaming me. And I have one of the highest ranking business licenses in world history. Forever. And I'm the only person that's licensed to be the owner of the companies forever. The executives are not licensed to be the owners of the company. I'm the only owner. Any document that anybody presents claiming they thought they'd be the owner of something because they thought they'd slander my character, that's false advertising of their activities. Meaning it's false advertising that they wanted to slander my character to try to get at my wealth and property and land. They do not have a legal right of any kind. And they won't ever. And plus there's Royal Airspace Protection Law and Aviation Airspace Protection Law in reference to satellite abuses. It's a mobile space. The government is not allowed to get too close to me. The government's not allowed to hire hitmen to try to get close to me. And when you people are trying to wear fake faces, trying to get close to me to try to murder me, it still is a violation, and you must face life in prison or the death penalty for being close to me to try to injure me. And I'm supposed to get paid every time somebody threatens me or anybody tries to bully me. And I'm supposed to have been receiving my revenues and residuals and financial monies the whole time. See, these people knew that I'd stay in a lot because my mother and father told me that, I'd probably stay in a lot and be at the mansions of my mother and father. And, that's why they have a bowling alley at the mansions, or pool tables, or game rooms, and swimming pools, and jacuzzis at some of my mother and father's mansions. Plus, some of them are near resorts. Some of them are in nice areas. And that's where I'm supposed to be. But the government's still holding me hostage, trying to make up lies. Trying to steal my identity. Trying to steal my family history. I'm trying to go home to my mother and father's mansions where I got kidnapped from. And the government is still making up lies, trying to play their human testing game, trying to slander my character. When the rare genetic laws tells them they don't have a right doing any human testing. They don't have any right trying to analyze other people's lives in reference to my life. They don't have a right spying on me with their Nazism and say, "Oh, we don't like you. We don't trust you." Well, it's my money, my company's my land. You're the people that can't be trusted. I'm the owner forever. You're not the owner of anything of mine or my family history. Then a satellite man or somebody in government will say, "Oh, after these lawsuits." No. I countersue every time you say after these lawsuits. See, you're trying to intrude on my life. My companies make products, they put them on the shelf. My companies have certain services. See, they're trying to make me smoke more cigarettes. That's on the record too. It's another $1 trillion lawsuit. And that's police brutality. And they have to lose their credentials for burning my throat. And these people depriving me of my money. The government has to pay me on a daily basis too, in reference to monies that they have been blocking me from, which is in the multi-millions. Usually a double sneeze like that means it's a satellite doing that. Yeah. So in reference to the information, the government trying to play tricks. The Postal Service is not allowing me to receive postal mail. It's a crime against government. Roll Protocol's been there. Been there the whole time. They thought if they held me hostage and slandered my character like they were trying to play Salem witch trials, that's where they try to steal a person's money. Or they try to hold a person hostage. My eyes are watering, my throat's burning from the satellite. But in reference to the information of government trying to play tricks, all their activities is fraud. All their manipulations is fraud. They're trying to play identity crimes, trying to play like they didn't know who I am when they broke my fucking tooth. They stole my blood and they stole sperm, trying to slander my character. That bitch just tried to communicate. She sounded like an angry person. No, I'm the owner of what I'm the owner of. I'm the owner forever. What I'm the owner of, and you're trying to trespass into my companies. You're trying to steal high positions of executives or managers, and then you're trying to push people out. Or you were trying to steal the companies, trying to make yourself rich by trying to break a company. My companies have always been on the up and up the whole time. The Treasury knows what the revenues are of my companies. Plus, I'm tax-free. Doesn't mean everybody else in the company is tax-free. No, it doesn't. It means I'm tax-free. So if somebody... I need cigarettes. That's a fact. Because this goddamn satellite man burns me if I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah. And hello, Pall Mall Cigarette Company. Hello, Camels. Hello, Philip Morris and Winston-Salem. And hello in reference to tobacco companies. And the government knows that I'm not supposed to have to work. My parents even had it on record that I wasn't supposed to have to work because they'd left the estates to me, and plus my trust funds was over $2.4 trillion. Plus the insurance of the companies. I haven't received a goddamn check from anywhere. And these government people are stealing the postal mail, they're stealing the checks, and then they're just holding on to them. When I'm trying to move back home, where I got kidnapped from. And I own all my mother and father's mansions in every city and state. And all the company locations of my mother and father's companies and grandparents' companies. And anybody's trying to put up a front, trying to call me a fake, they have to get ordered into court. And ask them who they are, what race they are, what religion they are. They don't have a right sitting here denying me. I'm supposed to have house accounts at different places. It even has there's even a document that says I wasn't even supposed to have to pay for cigarettes in this city. I wasn't even supposed to have to pay for a gallon of gas either. Because I own supply companies. Read those documents. My mother had a court case about the government holding me hostage in Indianapolis back in the 80s about them trying to extort money from my mother. And the government lost in that court case. It even said I wasn't supposed to have to spend any money in Indianapolis, Indiana. First of all, I wouldn't want to be here. But my mother had built mansions here too. That I was supposed to have the keys to, but the government man stole the keys. And then some of the government people had beat up my mother one time when she had sent the keys or she delivered the keys. I was sleeping one day and she put them on the dresser in the house, I guess at 3617 Robeson Street. That was on like a key ring of several keys. But then when I woke up, the keys weren't there. So somebody had stolen the house keys. And then my mother had went back to Beverly Hills or something or wherever she was, because she was scared for me to travel at that particular time because of, she didn't know which people was doing what, But when my mother had came back, she expected me to be at the house, the mansion that she had built. And the keys had been missing, so I didn't see the keys, didn't find them. And when she got to the house, there was, I guess, 3 or 4 people inside the house. And then they tried to beat up my mother in the house. And they even got that, I guess, on surveillance, too, in Indianapolis. And these people are still running around Indianapolis, hiding their identities, stealing monies, stealing checks that I was supposed to have received. And credit cards. Hello, American Express. And Visa and MasterCard. How you guys doing? And Discover Card. And MasterCard. Many things of importance. But in reference to the information, these government people trying to play these tricks, they have no legal right. They're violating segregation laws. They're violating financial laws. I've asked for information. I've asked for where can I go to pick up account information. They'll say, well, they're calling you Mark Ray instead of Howard Hughes Jr. or J.D. or, or George or Little Randolph. See, when I mention Little Randolph, they kind of shake me like that, Many things of importance. In reference to Randolph Hearst, if you didn't know. In reference to the family history of things. And George Vanderbilt acknowledgments. And Cornelius Vanderbilt. Lots of things of importance. But in reference to, hello, Kikit. Hello, Rockefeller Plaza. An Empire State Building. But in reference to the information, I need my financial information. I never sold any companies, never signed nothing away to nobody, never gave nothing away, didn't sell any of the companies, didn't give nothing away, not never. Not ever going to, not never. And if Pall Mall Cigarette Company wants to put a carton of cigarettes in my mailbox here at the little house, 315, that'd be appreciated. You're allowed to write it off. This is a hostage situation. But obviously, that satellite man has messed with me when I didn't have cigarettes. there's lawsuits in reference to hostage situations or something in reference to government depriving me of my rights or depriving me of freedom or finances and wealth. There's been numerous lawsuits, even probably in Washington too. I haven't received any of the lawsuit monies from anywhere. That government man just communicated, he said he hated me or something. That's not my problem. But you're physically assaulting me, which is a crime. I probably don't like you very much either. And I don't give a fuck about you or what your opinion is. I have friends of different races and different colors and friendly religions. I don't need your bullshit, government man. I don't need your tricks. I don't need your disgruntled opinions of anything. I'm the rightful owner of my mother and father's companies and estates, no matter who anybody else is. It's documented around the world. And this government man will say, oh, he disagrees or something. Disagree with what? This is a hostage situation. You're trying to hold me hostage to see if you could try to make me look like a criminal. By trying to get other people to advertise they thought they were the owners of things when I'm the owner. That's a crime, government man. Those are your front men, not mine. I don't have front men. I'm the real owner. I don't hire impersonators. What you have done, government man, is a crime. It's bullshit, too. You had no legal right, not never, and you won't ever have any legal right. Hello, Treasury Department, and hello, Identity Theft Division and Mutilation Division of... See, identity theft in reference to government people trying to damage my teeth, trying to call me a fake, is a violation of identity rights in reference to who I am since the day I was born. These government people don't have no legal right doing what they're doing, and they won't ever. The Treasury laws have been there. Nobody knows why these people are trying to jump fences, trying to jump property lines, trying to make up lies. They're violating social laws in reference to their games, trying to block me from my wealth, trying to make me look like a person that they're trying to take out of the scene of wealth, when my identity is supposed to have been advertised all these years. So you know it's been some regime that's been covering up my identity. Some regime that's been trying to fool people. In reference to food and beverage laws and company laws, these people trying to make up any type of excuse or any lie, it's illegal. They're trying to get into somebody's life, is what these people are trying to get into my life, and then they're trying to trip and fall. They're trying to make up accidents to try to blame me for. That their people are acting or their people are trying to play. When the amount of money I'm supposed to have access to is in the millions on a daily basis plus the government's blocking me from that, trying to make me work, trying to nickel and dime my life. They don't have no legal right. I don't pay politics. I don't pay political wages. I don't pay government wages. And they don't make money at my companies. They don't make the products. They don't pay the employees. My accounting department pays the employees of my companies. I haven't even received any of the monies from Facebook or any monies from YouTube or anywhere. And no, I didn't sign no contract with anybody to be stealing my money from YouTube or Facebook or any of my publicity or photos or anything like that. So whoever that man is that's ripping me off, I don't know who that man is, and the Treasury's got to go after that man. In reference to the laws of publicists or talent agents or whatever, in reference to scripts or productions, these people don't have a right stealing my money, whoever these people are. And hello, actors and entertainers and people in the media. I haven't received any of the monies anybody has sent. Low sports athletes, if you sent anything, I didn't receive any of it. You know, that's a long history of, you know, violations of government. I'm just trying to get home, and they're trying to make up any type of excuse of holding me hostage. I don't even hang out with very many people. But these people are trying to make up crap, trying to make up lies, holding me hostage to see if they could get away with stealing monies. With their frivolous lies and their frivolous lawsuits. And they're skimming and scamming off of my money. I haven't even received any of the checks. And every day is more lies of their people trying to block me from living my life. When I smoke Pall Mall cigarettes, they don't burn my mouth as much as they did with those GTO cigars. But the cigar companies, you have to go into court too against the satellite man. You know, people that smoke cigars, hey, it might be a substitution for a cigarette, but you know, and they're cheaper, but cigarettes are better, some people would say. But if you don't have cigarettes and that's all you can afford, then so be it, you know what I mean? In reference to other things, you know, it's a very serious situation in reference to government. The Treasury even has documents that say that if the government or anybody was blocking me from my monies, the Treasury was supposed to send me monies. And if the Treasury couldn't deliver monies to me in the mailbox, then there's a problem with the Treasury. Because they're allowed to arrest all the people blocking me from receiving money. They're allowed to arrest every single person that's blocking me from receiving money. The England Treasury is allowed to do that too. The French Treasury, the Italian Treasury, the Canadian Treasury is allowed to arrest people that are blocking me from money. They're supposed to. It's about money, property, and land. And property deeds. The Deeds Department has legal right to arrest those people. The labor union has legal right to arrest those people. Because who are they working for? Stealing my money? The banking industry is allowed to have those people arrested. It's about money, property, and land. Somebody wants to know, I guess, somebody says, do you think money's the root of all evil? No, I don't. Not at all. Bad people are usually bad people somewhere. And bad people are really bad people because they're really probably bad people. And I was born as the richest kid in world history. And yet I've been held hostage more than anybody else. I've been blocked from government blocking me from my money. Government's been blocking me. They're not even my race or religion. The Treasury is supposed to arrest those people. They're trying to steal my position at my companies. I got the most invested. My parents had the most invested. My grandparents built companies and built them from the ground up. My mother and father built companies from the ground up. My third empire was built from the ground up. I'm the owner forever. I'm trying to go home. And these people are trying to hold me hostage to try to murder me or to try to steal my genetics or trying to steal my sperm. And then they're trying to call me crazy. Somebody said something about they always want. Somebody say the ABCs. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. There you go. ABC 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Where's my money? And it even tells you don't test on me, government man. Want to hear the ABCs again? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. There you go. Where's my money? Where's the financial law crime division? You're supposed to send me money too. Because you know somebody's stealing my fucking money. I'm supposed to have access to millions of dollars plus per day. Reference to revenues or residuals or interest accounts. Where is it? Real protocols in the media. My parents' companies weren't government companies. They were private companies. understanding the fact that they were some of the largest companies in the world. Very important. And I'm the owner forever. And where's all the lawsuits in reference to the injuries and the physical assault? Where's my lawsuit money? That satellite man's pulling on my face. It's windy outside. They're pulling on my face. Anything's of importance. World protocols forever. Where's my money from my Nobel Peace Prize information? I'm supposed to make money from that. How come it hasn't been advertised in the media? Where's my money? Anybody know? Where's the accountant that was supposed to be in contact with me on a daily basis? There's supposed to be an accountant from my companies that's supposed to be in contact with me on the phone every day. Especially in reference to Wall Street and money markets and things like that. Where's the accountant at? The attorneys haven't even called me. In reference to the lawsuit monies I was supposed to have received. Plus my trust funds. There's lawsuits in reference to the trust funds. The government blocking me from my trust funds. Anytime somebody's trying to steal my trust funds, it's more lawsuits. Anytime somebody's blocking me from my accounts, it's lawsuits. Anybody trying to play tricks on my identity, it's lawsuits. Anytime the government tries to say they weren't sure who I am. I'm the most documented person in the world. I'm the only person in the world with a scar right here. And other injury scars on my face. And beauty marks. Only person in the world. And these government people are trying to confuse my identity? It's illegal. Where's the accountants at? I haven't received a penny yet. World protocols in the media forever. And don't forget, I'm an only child. I'm the only child of my mother and father. And there's a history of injury reports. Even when my parents was alive, when I'd gotten injured, when the government had tried to break into the house before, or when I got shot in my mother's limousine, when my mother was in the car driving, or we were riding in the car and I got shot. Yeah. And that Greenfield document doesn't say DNA, but the Royal Protocol in the media does. And so does Treasury documents. And then these people was trying to play this game, trying to play ripping up my life, acting like they were trying to see who I am. And they're in government. And it's impossible for anybody to get away with stealing my identity. They don't act like me. They don't know who I am. Or they claim that they know who I am because they're trying to copy me. They're trying to emulate who I am by trying to steal my identity and my wealth. They didn't date the same girls I dated. They didn't go to the same schools I went to at the same time I went to those schools. So who's the impersonator? They're violating laws. They're violating school laws, private school, public school laws. They're violating state law. Whatever city and state these criminals came from, I don't know. But they're not who I am. These people have even stolen or tried to get into property when I've been working on a job where everybody knew where I was at. And they sat there and watched impersonators try to get into my properties or my mother and father's properties. That's criminal activity of government. That's attempted murder. Roll protocols in the media forever. This video is about 50 minutes long, so it's kind of a long video.